Hello YouTubers, Charles here, and today I just have a short quick little video showing off a little device I made. I've been watching Mumbo Jumbo's videos. You should too. He's a pretty good redstoner, and he has a lot of neat devices and has a lot of great tutorials how to build them. But he's started up a little series on making a mad scientist lair. And one of the things he did was add in a lighting system that kind of lights up going around the whole lair. And while what he did works and it looks great, I think there's an easier way to do it. Maybe not the exact same effect that he had, but a very similar effect and a much easier way to do it. And doing this involves the kind of analog redstone memory cell. So I will show that to you now. So we basically have it right here, and this is the switch. And this is a long line of lamps. It's straight, but you can make it curved. It's very easy. I'll show that a little later, but let's flip the switch and watch this come on. So you can see the lights light up for one section, and then they light up for another section, and then a third section. And yeah, you can continue that as long as you want. It's only 3 wide, and it's just a row of repeaters. So it's really easy to extend. The only slightly complicated part is here, but I'll explain that in a minute. I'll turn it off, and it basically turns off in the exact opposite order. And there's the off sequence. If you want to have this turn at any point, you can come down here, and let's just say you want it to turn there. So you put a row of lamps and a row of bricks or whatever block you want with redstone on top, and then you can just put a repeater. And if you want to go further than that, you can also then basically put a block here and turn the repeater row here, and that will work. I'm just going to put this back that way, so this will make it actually go both ways and split off. You can see that here. See, it just turns and goes down that way. Now, obviously, I would need to extend this if I wanted to get these lit up. Basically, there's sections of... the first section is 15 long. All the other sections then are 29 blocks long. So this first series of repeaters is 29 repeaters, but every series after that is then 28 repeaters long. And it's just because the way this block is powering it from the side, but the first block powers it straight on, that causes that difference. So what's happening? How does this work? So this is basically Deco the Redstoner's memory cell. The only difference is instead of torches, we would normally have a torch behind each of these repeaters. Check my earlier analog redstone minecart station video. Has all the information about it, but normally there'd be a redstone torch here and a redstone torch here. Instead, we have dispensers that I have eggs in. You can also use snowballs, anything that stacks in 16. And it's just a dropper. I might have said dispenser before. So it's a dropper that faces into a hopper. And what happens here with the switch down is we are powering this. So normally this is completely full of eggs, but you can see there's an egg missing here. So when you power it, it shoots an egg out into the hopper and also then basically powers, because the redstone is on top here, it is powering this block, which indirectly powers the hopper, so the hopper won't return the item. that causes the comparator to read this when it's completely full. It'll read it as 15, but now because it's missing an item, it'll read it as 14. If you use items that stack to 64, one item isn't enough to make this read out as a 14 level charge, and so at 15, that's why you need snowballs or eggs or something like that. Now, because that's a 14, and these are both set up to subtraction, basically the power cycles down. So this would be 15, which would cause this to output 15, or this would be 15. A little complicated. This is outputting 15. So then 15 minus 14 causes this to output 1. Then that subtracts there. So it basically keeps looping around and subtracting it all the way down. You can see as I flip it, the power levels basically slowly swap. Actually, I am in 14. The latest snapshot, 14WB11B. But this will work on 174 or 175. But because of this, I can actually show you the power levels. You can see it on the right-hand side of the screen. Power level is 15. I'll flip this and then quickly move my pointer right back over it, and you can see it is counting down. It actually counts down at a rate of 1 every 2 ticks, because each repeater here takes a tick. And so basically, the power level here starts at 1 and slowly builds up. So as it builds up, it lengthens out and turns these on in turn. Simultaneously, we are, this is only going to get out to 15. 3, 2, 1. This is 1 though, because the power comes all the way out here and then travels back. But it takes 29 ticks to get out here. So this one out here only lights up after the 15th block out here, or as the 15th block out here is lighting up. Because it takes 2 ticks for this to increase the power level. So it takes 15 ticks takes 30 ticks for the 15th light to turn on. But by that time, the power has gotten all the way out to this block, and this light has turned on. So as the 15th light turns on, so does this one, and then this expands both to the left and the right. And then turning off is the same way, except then we power this dispenser, and we let this item go back into here, so this goes back up to 15. So I will turn this back on again, and you can see this gets up to 15, and then the one out there turns on, and then the same thing happens further out. There's another way you can set this up, and let me just turn it all off to show you that. I actually do have it simultaneously set up this way, and that is with buttons. So I have a button here. So instead of constantly powering this and keeping the item back, pressing the button will momentarily send the item into the hopper and then come back. So just pressing the button once. That is the off. Let me break these. There we go. Alright. So without powering any of those hoppers, or I should say droppers, pressing the button once turns on 2 lights here, and then it'll turn on 2 down there, and then it'll turn on 2 down there, and then each time you press it, another 2 will come on. Of course, it'll take a delay to get down there, and you can actually hold it. Well, not hold it, but basically repeatedly press it to have it almost fully come on. And then similarly over here, I can press a few times and you can see the light has gone down. So it's actually sort of variable level lighting, or controllable lighting brightness in a way, that it turns on or off more lamps as you press the button more. But basically, yeah, the way this lever is wired up, it is basically like constantly pushing the button, or repeatedly pushing the button to turn it on or off. So, yeah, that's kind of at least my design for a kind of simpler, not exactly the same pattern, but it's a much simpler to implement. You only need this simple circuit, which is 2 comparators, 2 droppers, 2 hoppers, and a torch and a lever and a few additional bits of redstone. And then it's really simple, just a line of comparators and a line of redstone along behind your line of lamps. Yep, so yeah, that's everything I have for you now. I have been playing a lot on the multiplayer server that I play on. We got a kind of a community town that's going. Everyone's still kind of building their buildings though, so maybe when that finishes up, I'll show you guys that. And that's all I have for now. So thanks for watching. See you later.